Yo, so obviously we already spoke about the possible transfers, who I would like to see in the club, who I don't want to see in the club. But right now, we're gonna go through the ins and outs. We're gonna look at the players contracted at the club right now, currently contracted at the club, whether they're here, whether they're on loan or whatnot. And we're gonna talk about the ins and outs, who we want in and who we want out. Because let's have it right, with the amount of transfers that United need to make in the summer, they're inevitably going to have to get rid of players, a lot of players. So let's have a look at the United squad list. And I'm going to let you know who I feel should stay and who should go. So we start with the goalkeepers, yeah? So the squad list with the goalkeepers. Onana, gone. Get rid of Onana. Get rid of him. Even if you can't find a team that's willing to take him on, try and loan him out. Just get him out of the club. Get him out of the club, one way or another. Obviously, Le Mans going nowhere. Yeah. Buy in there, sell him. Sell buy in there. Heaton, keep him. Keep Heaton. Moving on to the defenders. Harry Amas, keep him. In. Euro, in. Luke Shaw, in. You keep Luke Shaw. You keep Luke Shaw because he gets it. Do you know what I mean? He gets it. That don't mean you start Luke Shaw every week. No. But he gets it. He understands the club. Like players like that, like Scott McTominay, we should have never got rid of him. Forget his performances on the pitch. He understands and loves the club, that affinity to the club, that connection to the badge. You keep players like that as long as you can. Worst ways, you might have to tell a player like that, look, we want to keep you on, but we got to renegotiate your terms. Cool, like Harry Maguire. If he's not willing to renegotiate his terms in his contract, lower his wage and whatnot, or be more on a more performance-based wage, then fair enough. You might have to get rid of him. But if he does have that love and affinity to the club, like Harry Maguire, he'll be willing to do that. So yeah, Majwari. This is a difficult one. Majwari. See, I say in. But if there's an offer that comes in, you can sell him. If there's a good offer comes in, I don't mind selling him, but I wouldn't be quick to get rid of him. Also, he's another one. If you can renegotiate his contract, more performance-based, availability-based, bonus-based contract, and lower his base wage, brilliant. Martinez falls into that exact same bracket. Love him as a player, but if a big offer comes in, you sell him. But if not, you keep him, negotiate his wages as well. If he's on a big wage, you got to renegotiate that and make it more performance-based around his availability, because players like that are just in and out of the medical room, but they're commanding a big wage. It's bad for business. So for me, Martinez in, but if a big offer comes, you sell him. And then if you can renegotiate his wage, perfect. Malacia gone out. Maguire in for those same reasons. He renegotiated his wage. So in. Diego Leon in. All right, so you see with Diego Leon in, but you loan him out. But you keep him. Maybe even you give him a little bit of a longer contract, then you send him out on loan. Harry Amas, you integrate him into the first team. No more loan. You integrate him into the first team. Heaven in. Fredrickson out. De Ligt in. But again, availability, guys. Big on my criteria. High on my criteria list. So, again with De Ligt, if a big offer comes in, you sell him. If not, renegotiate his wages. Dalot in. Now, listen, I'm one of Dalot's biggest critics. But for me, I want to see I want Dalot in my squad. I just don't want him as my out-and-out first-team starting 11 right-back. But Dalot is another guy. He's very, very important to the changing room. He's a brilliant squad player in and around the squad, off the pitch. These players matter. He understands the club. His standards in and around the club are high. But on the pitch, his ability just isn't, Man United first team, first 11. He isn't there ability-wise. So, brilliant squad player. You keep him. He's in. Dorgu in. Dangor out. Toby Collier out. Ugarte out. Mason Mount. You try and sell him, but even better, for me, Mason Mount, with his ability, because listen, I don't care what you say, Mason Mount has ability. He's a very good footballer. But again, availability is key. Availability is key. So for me, you look at players like, because right now he's the deputy to Bruno Fernandes. So you look at players that you would like to replace Bruno Fernandes in future, next season or the season after. Players like Morgan Gibbs-White, Nottingham Forest. You see, is there a deal there to be done with Mason Mount? Can you give them Mason Mount plus cash? Mason Mount plus, 30 million to bring Gibbs-White over? Can you give Aston Villa Mason Mount plus 50 to bring Morgan Rogers? Can you do a deal like that? United doesn't utilize deals like that enough. They just, get extorted for the highest price going and they just got to pay up. Can we do little deals like that with Mason Mount? Because for me, he's out. He's out. Availability is, and he's on 250 grand a week. No, he's out. Kobbie Mainoo in. Tyler and Jack Fletcher. For me, with the amount of midfielders that we're signing this season, for me, both of them go on loan. One of them gets sold and one of them comes back. I think you know what brother comes back and what brother gets sold. Tyler would come back for me and Jack will get sold. But yeah, both of them will go on loan this season. Bruno Fernandes in. Obviously, Casemiro's out. Moving on to the attackers. Ethan Wheatley. I've watched this kid from the academy, younger age groups. He's always been a handful. Always been a handful. And when he's confident, he's a problem. When he's lacking a bit of confidence, he does lack conviction in front of goal. He's a player, when he's in good form, he's almost unstoppable. But then once he misses a chance or two, he'll still play well within the game, but then in front of goal, he kind of shrinks. So for me, out. But I would love to see him get that self-belief and progress in his career. For me, he's a player you might even put a clause in his contract, like a buyback clause or something. Because he's a player, you might sell him to like Championship or whatnot, and he might level up in the Championship, come back up to the Premiership with a team and surprise you. So maybe you even put a buyback clause in there. Jadon Sancho out. Marcus Rashford out. Rasmus Højlund out. Zirkzee. No. There's going to be more game time for Zirkzee. I believe in Zirkzee's ability. But sometimes his desire on the pitch is a bit lacking. I think he's used to getting by on ability alone. He's used to being the kind of star boy, like the player with the most ability. I hear the players talk about him highly as well, like in training and whatnot. Like when they say, oh, who's the most skillful in training? His name gets mentioned a lot. Who's got the best touch, X, Y, Z. But on the pitch, he lacks a little bit of desire. So it's a hard one. But you see, if we can get Obviously, Harry Kane's a long shot. If we can get Harry Kane, or if we can get Ramos, or if we can get Mateta, Zirkzee's out. If we can't get those three or another solid candidate to provide competition to Šeško, then I'm happy to keep him, because as a squad player, he's brilliant. You see him on the sidelines clapping the team along and whatnot. He's loved within the club as well. So if we can't get I wouldn't be desperate to bring in another striker to replace him if it isn't the right person. So yeah, if we get one of those three, he's out. If we don't, he's in. Šeško in. Chido Obi, send him on loan, but you keep him. He's definitely coming back. Mbumo in. Ahmad in. Cunha in. They ain't got the young players on there, but what they have, let's go. They just haven't got them with the first team on here. They still got them with the under-21. So let's go there. Shea Lacey, in. You integrate him to the first team next season. I'm only going to mention the players I think should be integrated. I'm not going to go through the whole of the under-21 list. So, Shea Lacey, in. You integrate him, 100%. Kukone, you integrate him, first team, pre-season. If you can get a loan for Sekou Kone to like Premiership or Championship minimum, cool, you loan him. But if it's not the right loan, you keep him in and around the club. Mason, same thing. If you can, you integrate him within pre-season to the first team. But if you can get a loan to Premiership, Championship, you loan him. Maybe even League One with Mason. Maybe even League One. But if not, you keep him in and around the club. VTech, you bring him back and you make him backup keeper to Le Mans. That's the under-21s. Let's go to the under-18s. Ajayi, big future ahead of him. You know what I mean? You see how he gets on in the under-21s and possibly offer him a longer-term contract at the club. Because there's a few of these under-18s that are actually ready to jump up. Look, they ain't got Gabriel on here, but JJ Gabriel, listen, he's not going on loan. He's either in and around the first team or he's playing in our under-21s. He's not going on loan. He's staying right here. Yeah. Who else have we got here? Jim Thwaites. Now, Jim Thwaites, you bring him in to pre-season, see how he gets along. Hopefully he plays well enough that he can get a loan to a Premiership club or a Championship club minimum. If it's not Premiership or Championship, like JJ Gabe, you keep him in the club. You keep it. You just move him up to under-21s and you keep him in the club. Kokonki, Godwill Kokonki, you integrate him pre-season, get that spotlight on him. Try and get him a loan to a Premiership or Championship, even League One. You get him a loan and then let him come back. That's the Man United squad ins and outs. Let me know who you agree with, who you don't agree with. Let me know in the comments. If there's anyone I've missed out, like with the young players. Oh, we got the signing as well that we made. Ecuadorian centre midfielder. Yeah, I'm interested to see him in pre-season as well. But yeah, he'll just integrate with the younger age groups. And then we'll just track his process throughout the season. We ain't going to send him on loan or anyway. He's going to develop within our academy. But yeah, if there's any other academy player that you believe is ready to jump up or you believe needs a loan to prove himself, let me know in the comments as well, yeah? Just said it. Love.